He was just sitting there very unseen, not conspicuous. So let us put our hands together. The CEO, Mr. Marjan Hussein Marjan. Karibu sana.
Asante. I hope the mic has been sanitized. Thank you. Madam Immaculate, Commissioner, Data Protection, who is also our guest of honor today. Our Commissioner, Professor Abdigulie, waheshimiwa was present, Wana Jerome, who is also the PS Ministry of ICT, Director present, managers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Good evening. Just to make sure that I don't miss my words, I decided to prepare my own small speech that allow me to speak off the cuff. I met in terms of explaining who Immaculate is. Madam Immaculate, the way I can describe her is that she's a go-getter. Describe her is that she will not relent when she wants something done. And I will miss those opportunities, those moments when we'll be discussing in management, in meeting. She will not fail to contribute, no matter how difficult the subject is. She will always have something to say. She is one person who is very, very consulting. She likes to consult. And she's one amongst those directors who would very often consult me in terms of matters that she's facing. And I must say that we worked very well during those. That it also is a very empowering person. She empowers people who work below her. And that is why I think you've had a lot of positive comments from the people who work below her. It's very rare to find people who are actually empowering, but when you find one, they will always be loved because of the positivity that they actually energize the people who are below. Due to the fact that Immaculate has been consulting, I think just like what Tabitha said, she was also a good student. When I learned that Immaculate had been shortlisted for this position of data protection committee, and I asked her, so what do you know about protection of data? And she told me, well, I'm trying to read. If you can get time, just come to my office, I prepare you. And indeed, she came to my office. We took, I think, more than 3 hours. I told her, remember, when I asked her about security, what is security for you? What's your understanding? CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So I told her, what do you understand by privacy? And well, see, I don't know. So I told her it's about trust and obligation. Customer gives you their data. They trust you. You have an obligation to make sure that you keep it confidential. She was a very good student. By the time we left that place, I was confident. In fact, I told her, you are an A+ material. And indeed, that is what happened. So now allow me to read my, like I said, I didn't want to miss my words. So allow me to read what I had prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity on my behalf and that of the entire IBC fraternity to express our profound gratitude for immaculate hard work and the great times we have had working together. She is a remarkable colleague and a friend who has spent over years in the Commission. The role she has played have really made a big difference in the workplace and impacted many in a way. An initiator, a reliable, persistent, resourceful, self-disciplined, empowering, and broad-minded. These are just but a few of the positive qualities and personality traits that describes her. We will miss Immaculate, we will miss your valuable contributions. You always got the set deadlines. You are a mentor and an inspiration to many. I think it has been alluded here before, and I'm not the only one who is saying that. We are very proud to have called you a friend and a colleague. You are an achiever who worked hard and tirelessly for excellent results in the Commission. Your positive contribution towards our shared success will stay in our hearts forever. Although you are leaving and made us sad, the great memories of working with you will always be remembered. With a great heart, I say thank you for making work fun and for those great memories we share together in the workplace. I wish you good luck and all the best in your new position as you move to higher levels in your career. May you find your new place to be workable, enjoyable, and also fun. Jerome, I think it has been said, you've got a very, very excellent person. And I think with the time, it's going to be proven. So with those few remarks, I want to say thank you very much. It has been a pleasure working with you. We can only hope for the best for you. And you know you will still fly high wherever you go. So sisi tunasema tu kwa heri ya kuonana na Mungu akubariki wewe na familia yako. Asanteni.
Let's appreciate the CEO. Asante sana. And we are coming to the representative of, I don't know whether it's commissioners. Yes. Commissioner Professor Abdi Gulie. Karibu sana, Professor.
Distinguished guests, colleagues from IEBC, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. I think this is celebrating the life and times of a hard-working officer in the Commission. I have known Immaculate, and I've always called her Ima also. I don't know whether it was a coincidence. Since I joined the Commission in 2017. And as they say, you get to know the character of people when you join them in a war, isn't it? And as pastoralists, that's how we define people. Ile kushare mali. We don't steal. We share. That is when you get to know the character of people. By the way, being an animal scientist, it's also part of scattering good genes. Because if I take from Kapedo and take it to Samburu, si ng'ombe imepata dume mzuri. So it's so we learned each other at the time of war. And I'm sure my colleagues from the commission will tell you, and this is for the benefit of the politicians in the House, that for us, an election is a war. We have a beehive of activities. We often go into an election with the least supporters in the country. The entire country is usually poisoned against us. And so it's a very difficult time and moment for us in the commission when you are conducting or refereeing an election where the participants usually hurl insults at you. But nevertheless, we've worked together. She's been a dependable officer during that period, and we've got to give it to her. She's a hard worker. I remember each time we want an update, especially during the election, she could tell us what RO is doing of Kenya, as in charge of voter registration and election operations. And that is the time we know actually who the actual workers in the commission are. And many of our staff work with distinction, key amongst them being Immaculate. Personally, I chair a committee where she comes to present her ideas or proposals on issues pertaining to her directorate. And I've always found it enjoyable discussing with her those papers. More often than not, well researched and well written. And unlike other papers where I have to rewrite literally, I found it very enjoyable reading the preparations from our directorate. For the time we've interacted, I've done as much as I could as a person on behalf of the commission to support you, I hope. I have always defended our staff at every podium that is available to me. Even about 3-4 weeks ago when I was giving an interview to Citizen, I reiterated the same. We are people who are not known out there, especially the kind of work that we do is not known. And that probably we blame ourselves. We are not telling our stories as much as we should. I came to the commission from the university. Many of you probably will think I'm a young man. I've been in the university for nearly 20 plus years teaching at Egerton University, where I started and I remained to teach. And when I was coming to the commission, I was coming thinking that I'm coming to a place of thugs. There are always still elections. I'm coming to make it better. You know, the perception. And that is the perception everywhere, by the way. But when I got to learn the kind of activities that go on in there, the kind of personal sacrifices our staff in the commission make, I wish Kenyans would just have a day to appreciate the employees of IEBC. I have had an opportunity immediately after 2017 elections. Of course, we were called lots of names at that time. I'm not withstanding the fact that I was the staff to go number one in the reducible minimums, where Emma was number 7. I was still prepared to defend Emma in whatever forum that was. And this is because we knew her character. And there was nothing she was doing for any person other than for the commission and for the country. Our staff go through many things, Mheshimiwa. I'm sure you've had experience of this firsthand, but for the benefit of Mheshimiwa Nick Salat, our staff don't sleep for 3-4 days before the election. They don't. And they don't sleep, of course, on the election day and the day after. And on the day of the election, especially during the counting, we have 6 candidates, each one of them shouting at the loudest, "Hisabu kura yangu." And our guys normally are bombarded with a lot of insults, hate, but amidst all that, they do their job. It is a pity that in the past, when our staff go through elections, we never used to have counseling sessions for them. But I think since 2017 elections, as a commission, we have found it necessary to include counseling as part of the insurance cover. And the DCO can attest to that. Because we've seen they go through a lot of trauma. We are at Bitali Center from Nairobi, we are calling to my result of President Sahi. Not minding the MCAs who are making noise, the MPs, the women rep, the governors, and all the other agents from all the other competing interests. But they manage, and we appreciate them. And imagine somebody who is coordinating all that madness, and that was immaculate. All the returning officers on the phone, Tuma, you know. And it's disheartening when somebody is doing that kind of work for this country, and then you drag their name in the mud. And for me, that is why I decided, notwithstanding that I was in Ghana, I thought maybe I should go first for her. And we have gone through that. Now we are thoroughly tested. We have every confidence in you, in the office that you are going to start. And we as a commission will be a beneficiary of the office that you are going to hold. Because we know when it comes to electoral data or voters' data, politicians and political parties have always misused it. And we therefore hope that we will continue to engage with one another, your office and the PS's office, so that even as we make data available, they say under Article 35, which everyone likes to quote whenever somebody is writing to us demanding something, the first opening statement is in accordance with or in furtherance of, Article 35, access to information. I think that information will have to work together on how voters' information can be accessed. We have had an erroneous ruling, I think it was last year or it was only this year. Yeah, during the Kibera by-election, a crazy judge made a crazy ruling, I must say. And that should not be allowed to continue, where we are forced to give politicians and any other person who is interested to know about voters the entire data, including your name, your ID, your phone number, where you vote, when you were born, and everything. And so we will be beneficiaries of your office. Let us work together closely and to ensure that at least we avail personal data responsibly to stakeholders. As you leave, you have left a family behind. And when you're in a family, always ule mtoto wa kwangu mkubwa pengine unabili wale wengine, it's part of family, si ndio? So kama kumekuwa na tatizo hapa kidogo kidogo, utatusamehe kama tumekukosea, lakini ni familia yako. We are with you all along. And personally, I have every confidence that you will you will do your work to the best of your ability. And I'm only hoping that your boss, the PS, will provide you with the tools to realize your potential. And with those many remarks, I wish to say to all of you, thanks for coming. And on behalf of the commission, my other colleagues who was out of town, we hope to do this as frequently as possible for all our staff in future. And let it be a tradition going forward. Let's celebrate each other and wish each other well, even as we part. Asanteni sana.
Let's appreciate the professor. And what the professor just said is very true. In fact, when he mentioned access to information, we are some of those people who are demanding that access to the information. And as I sit here and I listen from the start to this far, I am having a feeling that, like he said, the IEBC, the Electoral Commission and its work, is a bit not understood, not known. I'm feeling like there needs to be a conversation between the electoral body and the journalists, the media that is, who will educate the public about what the intense job of the IEBC is. Because, ukituuliza sisi, you are the people who never pick our calls when we interview you. I looked for you 10 years ago and I've never forgotten. I called Tabitha 200 times. She never picked. And I'm trying to even tell her, do you remember me? I'm so and so. Pick the call. I needed to speak to you. And I was like, all I want you to tell me is about the voter registration campaign. I'm not asking for the secrets of the IEBC. But anyhow, I looked for your voice. I used it. And it is still somewhere. So I think we need to discuss these things so that Kenyans understand what you guys do, because they don't. If you ask us, you are the people who keep losing elections to everybody. I mean, you do those things that the other people, which is not correct. So I believe the professor has represented the chairman of the IEBC fully. Thank you very much, Professor. Now we are coming to the peak of this event. And Madam Commissioner, it seems when you become a commissioner, you are a commissioner forever. It's like becoming a priest. You are a priest forever. So, Commissioner Immaculate Kassait, I'm going to, I also noticed you are a holder of the Moran of the Order of the Burning Spear. I'm learning a lot. I want to be like you when I grow up. So I will invite you, the lady, so that you can invite the distinguished guests who are around this table. Karibu sana. Karibisheni the lady of the moment. The DPC, the Data Protection Commissioner of Kenya, as gazetted by the President a month ago. It is on the Gazette notice, just in case you did not see it. So, Karibu Sana, addresses, we are happy to listen to you.
Thank you, MC. But before I do that, I want to call two people, my spouse, and then I will call PS Jerome to just say a few words. That's all.
Yeah, hakuna haja kusanitize hapa.
Good evening. With special permission from Madam Commissioner here, I want to call the children please come. Watoto na kuna jamaa hapa ambayo si mtoto lakini anafall kwa hiyo category. Musa, please come. Phyllis, just come. Now, the lady coming here is my young sister Phyllis. Yeye ni mama moja, tumbo moja, mzee moja, baba moja, na huyu is my young sister Phyllis. She's an artist. Si tupigie makofi. Architect, sorry, my daughter Mercy. Which class are you?
Class 8.
Class 8. Corona dropout. Chelimo, her name is Wamboi Chelimo. Which class? Class?
5.
Good. Our firstborn son here. What's your name?
My name is Kevin Kassait.
Good man. This one is a budding advocate. We pray. This guy, he's the tallest so far. His name is Jeremy. Which class?
From 2.
Which school?
Kabaret.
Good man. And this gentleman. Okay. Good evening. My name is Musa Kamket. I am brother to Mheshimiwa Kamket, last born. Mimi ni wakili. Asante, huyu ni wakili, karibuni please. Take your seat. Before I say one word, I came today with my brother Nick Salat. Please, Nick. And I thought that since we are talking matters ABC, this one has been a victim of issues. I let him say it for himself. Just say one word. Good evening. Good evening again. Commissioner, CEO and your team, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Immaculate, beautiful, Immaculate. Immaculate is beautiful, isn't it? Special guest. Me, I'm a friend of my family. And when he told me that IEBC is celebrating one special lady, I told my good friend, I did Kassait, but I know him as Kamket, that I give me a seat somewhere. I want to hear IEBC. IEBC are my friends. Politically, I have no other friend than IEBC. And I just wanted to see them talking and talking. And I just said, IEBC, these are my good friends. I have taken them from the High Court. I went to bed with them up to the Appeals Court. That was not good enough. I went to the Supreme Court. I was going to the Tanzanian, like Madagaskar. But just because of that, I said, let me stop. It's good to be here and to hear friends, your colleague praise you. And I've had, they have nothing else but accolades that will take you to the next level. And I've known you as a friend, and me and Kamket were married to very powerful women. Alpha, they call them alpha female. Mine is also a doctor, so you can tell the kind of. Lakini sisi ni ngumu. We won't be here. Yangu itakuwa ni machache. Penye unaenda, nakwambia, I have worked with Jerome. He was my immediate PS. I was the chairman of Postal Corporation of Kenya, and now I'm the chairman of ABC. So this is a good man. You're fine. This is a very fine man. So msijali, anaenda mahali pazuri. Munasikia? He's a good man. We worked well with him, and I'm sure you'll work well with him. IBC, mimi ndio nimeketi kwa lami nikifukuza wale wengine. We threw stones at that building hapo chini hapo. I was one of them. We were tear gassed. That's why now we have a professor who came in. I really value you're an institution that is really you need to be valued. Your voice has to be heard. And I told one of the commissioners, you should be an institution where it's not just at the election time that you are heard. You should be like a teacher's college where we have graduates who are going to actually take part in the elections. It's not just picking somebody from the bush or from a profession. It should be a professionalized institution where we have people graduating to go and manage our elections. That's what I feel. This idea of just saying we are recruiting from the streets, that doesn't help us. So I do believe Kassait with BBI, I have a lot of hope in BBI. And I'm happy that BBI does not disrupt the institution of memory. Because without institution of memory, Professor, hakuna IBC. It's necessary to have continuity, so that those who are coming in are not new. They'll come and start from scratch, get us back to where we've been. So I'm sure the three of you who remained will be the institution of memory that will actually help those who are coming behind you. And plus what she's left behind, which I'm seeing, I didn't know her. I've defended you, by the way. The connection between Kassait and Kassait. Hapo ilipopea. I used to be with Orengo. Sasa mi anagoma bila nyamaza tu, Mrs. Kassait amebalizwa hapa. So Orengo is telling me, kuna mwanamke mmoja. Lazima na nyamaza tu because I don't want, najua my friend here. So Kassait ananiambia wanasema mimi huko, Kassait never hakukaa kwa lami kama mimi. So ananiambia walimaliza mama, nikaambia nilinyamaza sikuongeza chumvi. So mama, I've defended you because I know you are a good person and you've done well with the opportunities that you're given. See Raisi, I know. You ask the CEO mwenye aliwacha kazi, what's his name, Choloba. Nilimpigia usiku wa manane. Namwambia Kericho, na nimeona mwenye alikuwa Kericho. How can Kericho elections being announced at midnight na ile ya Malindi, which is one constituency, haijamalizika? Na akakata simu kaka. Anyway, we want free. By the way, I slept at midnight. And this was a county election. Nilalala midnight. So when you didn't pick a Salat, I can't help you, and I can't help you. Nikamwambia, what do you mean you can't? I can't help you. I can't help you. We wish you well. And I can tell even the young ladies who are here, they believe you've left them in good hands. So thanks to you, and we wish you well. My friend, Apa, you're okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nick. I always had to take you along because I want to be very brief because everybody has said very kind words about my wife. IBC for me is family. I know all of you by name. All of you. When you are standing here, I know all of you by name. So that I'm lucky today, I came and put faces to those names. There's not many of you we've not met, except some few of you. Immaculate comes home every day and wakes up every day mentioning your names. She dreams mentioning your names. You know, so it's a very interesting job at IBC. It's very difficult to speak about somebody that you love, but let me say this. One of the highlights of her career at IBC was when there was an allegation about someone, this lady from Mutula's daughter, what's her name? Kedri Kilonzo. She was a star witness in that matter in the tribunal. And then I think some CID or DCI people were looking for her. She was on leave. And they went looking for her in the village. And guys, where we live in the bush. They went up to my village, some DCI fellows. And what she told me, I keep laughing up to today. Because those guys, when they reached our village, they forgot why they went to look for her and began asking her, what the hell brought you here? How could you be married in these circumstances, in this, and how, I mean, you know, that to me is, was very humbling, because we come from very humble backgrounds, and we are strugglers like all of you. I met this lady in the university across the Nile, and we are strugglers like all of you. We kujikakamua ama namna kujikakamua kimaisha, and I am looking at all of you. I know what you go through, each and every one of you, as elections managers. I understand. I understand very much. I am even when people will think that I mean this is my first time as member of parliament. I was a speaker before for Baringo, and people will think that there was even propaganda. Oh, Madam alibia bwana yake kura. This one will not help you. I am telling you, zero. Yeah? Zero. Yeah, I would tell her, Mom, sasa hii maneno si mfanye vile. She would tell me, my friend, go enda kwa uwanja. Enda kwa uwanja. And I stood for elections in 2007. I didn't get. I stood again in 2013. I didn't get, but I became speaker. So I have also lost twice, trying for the same seat. Then 2017, we won. So as people were demonstrating, I was among, naturally, of course, I have to defend the IBC. But when I look at even me as a politician as Kamket, when I lost the elections in 2007, I did not lose the general election. I lost in the nomination. I lost in the nominations of ODM. And let me tell you, if you ask me now as a politician whether you want to go to an election which is conducted by a political party, that's thing called nomination, or to an election which is conducted by IEBC, I will go for IEBC anytime. 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 Any day, anytime. Why? Because this one is professional. This one is true. Ingine ni makaratasi ya uongo. Watu wanapasua exercise books na ku crazy. So I do not want to say much. Let me just say, as I wind up, that I believe, like my friend, was it Salat or somebody else who said about the institution. It's very important to have institutional memory. Madam here, I'm your fellow journalist. We saw that. Let me tell you, what you said may not happen because we journalists don't like good stories. There's no story which is a good story. So even if you took journalists, let me tell you, CEO and commissioner here, hata mkipeleka hiyo watu seminar ya mwaka moja, they will still write a bad story about you. I can assure you that. So there is no good. The news, by the very definition of news, when a dog bites man, it's not news. But when a man bites dog, that's news. So now we have the new challenge. And I know nothing about data protection. Zero. So Jerome, kwanza ile biashara mnaenda kufanya hapo mimi sijui. Mimi niendelee na hiyo, sisi mimi nitabaki na IBC yangu. Tutajuana tu polepole, but mimi ni mtu wa IBC. I am a family member of IBC. I see Madam Commissioner here in the near future, maybe, I don't know. I see her going back to IBC. Because, you know, IBC is home. Yeah, I'm a little bit unhappy today. Our last born, who is our legacy from IBC, is not able to be here. And he was born in Kamukunji. There was a by-election in Kamukunji. And the people of the commission decided to give him a name. His name is Bill Ballots. Can you imagine what a name? But we adopted it because in Pokot culture and generally Kalenjin, our names are circumstantial. So we have our legacy for IBC is that boy called Ballot. We will forever be grateful to IBC for standing with us as a family. Na tumefaulu kidogo, huyo mshahara kidogo tumeenjoy. Huyo bosi kidogo tumeenjoy. Tumejuana na marafiki kina profesa hapa. We will miss our driver. That guy. We will miss him, but ukisikia tumeiba wiki moja msiongee. Because he's also my water and my friend. So we will forever be IBC family. Always. Finally, the lowest for me was when the commission was really under pressure. And for me, as a member of parliament, I still want to imagine that we should make law that makes it traceable to resign at certain times in certain institutions. Because when you cannot plunge the country into war, and that is exactly what was about to happen. were just on the precipice. So if you're handling very serious, sensitive jobs, like a commissioner of IEBC, at what point should you resign? At what point should you not be allowed to resign? Because the country is bigger than every one of us. So I think, Nick, because I know we are going back there, we will think about that law to make it impossible for anybody to leave office at such critical moments. We should not plunge. You guys, please stand firm. Msiogope. Tuko na nyinyi. Hata kama even when we shout, you see those demonstrating. Except for the presidential election, they have accepted all these parliamentary elections. Sindio? We have announced 200, how many constituencies are we? 290 constituencies. We have announced senators, we have announced MCAs, we have everybody. And everybody else is quietly going to court to petition. Lakini hii ingine ni vita. No, we even ask as politicians we are insincere. And that's why you people, your communications departments, you must do something. Don't let us journalists write your stories. Write your stories. Come up and say it. Come up and say it. Nyinyi mseme na Wakenya watawasikiza na kuona ukweli kwa nini wanalia hii moja na mbona wanakupa warisaini wote. Si resign as MP. If you think IEBC is that bad, si wewe uache kazi yako. Ama kwa nini nakubali yako? Double speak. That's the double speak I can say. So I can't say much about her anymore. Kwa sababu mwingine italeta balaa baadaye. But I look forward to working closely with PS Jerome, of course behind the scenes, making another family in the ICT industry. I thank you very much and say hi to your friends. Tell them tuko pamoja. Na Mungu awabariki.
Let's appreciate the Honorable Kassait Kamket, Member of Parliament for Tiati. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa. Good words.
I want to call it immediate PS Jerome.
Thank you very much, and to also thank everyone, Professor Gulie, Commissioner, Marjan. I know we've worked before. I'm also not a stranger to IEBC. I have actually worked very closely with a number of you. Ezra, we worked together. Before I became PS, I was also director of another not very popular institution, just like IEBC, called IFNIS. We used to be blamed for every single problem that is happening. Mara tumeiba pesa, we would be running budgets of 3 trillion. So I used to say, kama nimeiba hii pesa, ningekuwa ninakaa vile ninakaa, but anyway. So, Mheshimiwa Kamket, asante sana, and also Mheshimiwa Nick Salat, ndani. We worked together very well inside. So I have an experience of really having worked with many people. Let me start by, first of all, really appreciating the organizers of this event. Asanteni sana for coming up with such a wonderful idea, so that as Commissioner leaves, I know I used to call her Commissioner the first time she was appointed, and she was like, before it has not clicked, but I think nowadays it has clicked. Now it has clicked, so I would call her Commissioner. So there's a pause kidogo, wondering kama ni yeye, is it a wrong number? The way you want to tell somebody, I think that's a wrong number. And then she later responds, yes, PS, how are you? And all that. So that's good. I mean, she's already gotten it. First, I really appreciate that whatever I am hearing today personally, hii kitu sengine wewe inaleta shida. Sahii hapa nafikiri niko na social distance inatosha ambayo inakubaliwa. What I was saying, yes, what I'm hearing today is basically what I saw on paper. 2-3 months ago, when we were going through the recruitment process, they applied. Actually, there were more than, I think, 500 candidates who had really applied for this position. They were shortlisted to 10. So it is the 10 that actually came to the interview. And we could ask, we saw candidates one by one coming in, listening and listening. One thing that really struck me and us as the people who are interviewing is that now I realized she looked like she had had a leakage. But now, today I've understood where the leakage came from. It came from Marjan. Because the way she was responding to the question, she got it. She had it. And you know, when you're in an interviewing scenario, and it looks like you're being entertained by this candidate, you can see every examiner or every interviewee nodding. After every other statement, you know you're nodding in acceptance and really wanting to even hear more. Then, let me tell you, we got the right candidate for this job. That one is without a doubt, we got the right candidate for the job. Because the candidate herself was articulate, she understood the role, she understood what she was coming to do. And actually, just to see that beyond that, after she was really gazetted and appointed, actually Immaculate herself really wanted even to start working the same day. Then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. See, wacha tutafute mahali utakaa. No, I can work from anywhere. So I see a lot of enthusiasm. I see a lot of energy in her, and would really want to welcome you to the ministry. We are equally a very, you will experience for yourself, but let me just give you a hint. We are not very complicated. We are fairly humble people. You will come, and we've always had that very hands-on kind of relationship and working. So when you called me to the event, I said, okay, fine. Actually, I've just come from Kisumu this morning. And I know my flight was supposed to be arriving around this time. But then I said, okay, let me look for an opportunity to change the flight. So I managed to get a 11 flight. So landed at about noon. Nilifika tu hivi nyumbani kuacha mizigo, then I turned back. That is why I didn't get the memo about the dress code. That is why I am on denim. So I actually told her, no, you didn't tell me about the dress code. When she showed me like, no, it was written on the card. I didn't even get time to look at the card. I was just looking at time. So Immaculate, welcome to our community. Equally, let me just confess this, my CS is equally very easy going. We are community, very welcoming. So I believe you will have an enjoyable opportunity. But let me also just state, I think the position of data commissioner, it is only that it is just coming up, but the intensity of work is more or less going to be the same as what is happening at IEBC. Very soon you'll start hearing, my data has been stolen. Somebody has taken my information. my information is being used by somebody else. Those are the kind of stories you'll be hearing. And still, when it comes to the election time, there is no way you will run away from data being stolen, votes being stolen, or something like that. So basically, when we looked at you during the interview, we said, this is the right person we want for this job. Because really, we are looking ahead of a very adrenaline high kind of environment. But the fact that you have gone through this, I want to believe the next engagement is equally going to be the same, and you're really up to the task. So the prayer warriors, don't forget your prayers. Continue praying for her. The support system, William, continue providing that necessary support, and the family, watoto and whatever, brothers and sisters, mkumbuke support the way you have been giving her, kwa sababu kazi pia itakuwa ngumu, haitakuwa rahisi. But, and especially for the girls, I think the bar has been set very high for you. One of them told me they're in class 8. Sasa, we're looking forward to you doing equally well. Una excel, vile mama me excel, sindio? So hata wewe kwa class 8, we want to see you doing equally well, sindio? So that you take the example of mom in doing well, and all the others who are still in school. This kind of a ceremony gives you an opportunity to understand how people grow in the society. Unaanza tu polepole, Mheshimiwa Kassait, hata mimi ni hustler. So unaanza tu polepole, unapanda. I was telling Mheshimiwa Salat, the challenge we had is that after coming to university those days, you employed with a very big title. Mine was System Analyst Stroke Programmer 2. Saizo mshahara ni nini? 6080. 6,080. So you have a very big title at the wall there. Lakini mshahara, so that is how life starts. Inaanza tu polepole tu, you rise within the ranks and file, and with your commitment at work, and of course, continuous prayers and support from family and friends, Mungu anazidi kutubariki. So, Immaculate, karibu nyumbani, karibu to the new family. We're looking forward to working together. Rest assured, count on my support anytime. We will make sure that we make your work easy, and also we make your life easy. Asante.
Thank you very much. Yes, ICT, Mr. Jerome Ochieng. Now you can address us, our Commissioner for Data Protection.
The MC is just alerting me about time, and I totally agree. I think we're supposed to close the restaurant at 9. I'll try to make it as brief. My immediate boss, PS Jerome, Commissioner Abdi Gulie, my former CEO. Can you imagine I'm saying former CEO? Hussein Marijani, is true, he leaked the exam to me. Mike, I think he's left, he's a director. Managers who are here, CECs who are here, CAAs who are here, and of course, my former colleagues, DVSC, hello! You're told they used to be the most vibrant in terms of entertainment. I'll start by acknowledging my spouse. They say behind every successful man, there's a woman. In this case, it's the man. And I'll tell you a personal story. When we were in campus and I met my husband, during those dating days, and wakati inaitwa mapenzi kwa moto, he asked me, when I listen and I look at you, you're very ambitious. And me, I'm very ambitious. Will these stars ever align? Mimi ninaogopa. Anyway. 20 years later, we are still here, so he stopped fearing. I want to thank my children. I had a conversation with them and I told them, Jeremy, Mercy, Chelimo, Kimwe wasn't home that day. Please make my work easier for the next 6 years because it's going to be a very demanding job. I thank her for being here, my brother-in-law, and my sister here, Phyllis. During those crazy ABC time, when you're on autopilot, she stepped in 100%. I really do thank you. And my PS, imagine, and PS, I'm not saying this because you're here. Already I feel the warmth. PS Jerome will pick your call at the second dial. Okay, we love his ringtone. He's Catholic like me. He has nice Catholic melodies, so we hope he doesn't pick them soon. Since I was sworn in as DPC, we've spoken every single day. And on this particular issue, when I asked him just 2 days ago, is it possible? He said, I'm going to be attending a meeting in Kisumu, but I'll see if I'm going to be flexible. And indeed, he made it. I don't take it for granted. And every time when I go to his office, he has a book open and he'd say, let's first finish this one, because if I close, there'll be other priorities that we complete. I think one thing I liked is he wants things resolved immediately without coming back to them, and which is also what I do a lot. And Nick, thanks for coming. Nick is family, by the way, and it's true what he told you. His wife works for Equity Foundation. He didn't mention here. She's a very senior person there. And we are great family friends. So don't worry. We have men here who give their wives wings to fly. And I tell that to my colleagues that it's very important to have a spouse who believes in you. Because if you don't have that space, it's very hard to succeed. And I really thank you, William Kamket, KK as we like to call him, for that opportunity to be your wife and for the opportunity to give me wings to fly. My husband has taken me to every single interview. Even when I was coming to IIC, he sat at he took me for the final interview when the commission was meeting. When I was drilled by Parliament for 5 hours, almost 6 years ago, by PAC, he sat behind there for 5 hours. Every single step of the way, he's my cheerleader, and I really don't take it for granted. I am extremely humbled to be here today, Mr. Marijan and Professor, and the team in the brain behind this, because it's really the first time. I'm even a bit embarrassed, because one time we tried to do one for Mohati, I think we tried to do one and then it didn't materialize. I really hope it now becomes a culture in IBC to celebrate our staff at any given turn of the way. And despite COVID and the restrictions, you all made time to be here today. I do not take it for granted. It is exactly 11 years, like will be 15th of January since I joined the IBC, when I received that call from my former boss, Isaac Hassan, who were in Kerengeti on family holiday. And Chelimo there, Chelimo Stan was 1 year old. And you know, 1 year old can be crampy, eh? Please sit, mommy. So today she's 12. So she's walked this journey. Jeremy there was, there are small little boys and boy and girl then, and they have watched the mother on autopilot at times, and with my sister and family stepping in just to support me. Unfortunately, my girlfriends got an emergency. They had to step out, but it would have been here for them to be here today. Once I landed in IBC, what Ruth Kulundu said was true. Because 2 weeks later, we were at the KMTC? No, multimedia for a training. And we'd work until very late in the night. And one day, because then my spouse was working in Arusha, he walked in, and Odame will tell you this. He found many of them there, and it was 11 p.m. His wife is not home. He has just come from Arusha. And he asked, IBC, inataka kuvunja maboma za watu. They have never forgotten that statement. They remind me all the time, but that is the nature of duty in as far as this is concerned. So this organization is a national duty. I often told staff, it is actually a missionary job. At times not as rewarding, but also you give your whole. You can never be paid enough to be an election official, but you must continue giving because that is what keeps you going. And it's national duty more than anything else. If you do not believe in serving the nation, then this is the wrong place for you to be. Many staff of IBC continue to sacrifice. I remember when we came in, we'd go to Ajia, go to Kirinyaga, go to Mugirango. Many people here, they will tell you they've had to sacrifice their children. They will tell you personal stories when they have to be 2 or 3 months away from home, when they have class 8 from 4 children, and even husband. At times, they do not have an understanding husband like us. But God give them grace as they continue to push and serve this country. I remember in 2011, I told Jane I would talk about this today here. In 2011, we were 4 women in IBC, all pregnant. One was Jane Rea. She's same Eldoret. And our babies are almost the same. The second, I didn't even know she was going to be Isaumu. She was pregnant, all from HQ. The third one was the registrar of political party, also pregnant. The fourth one was me, also pregnant. So anyway, so we went through the hassles of expectant mother, and on the day I was supposed to deliver, I was busy. I was told, you're in labor. Instead of driving to Nairobi Hospital, I drove to IBC and took the lift. And I called Lemiso then. And he said, I need to give you handing over notes. So we sat, and it was around 8 or 7 p.m. And I told him, in case I don't come, I didn't give him details. I told him, in case I'm not here tomorrow, this is what needs to be there. Meanwhile, I could barely walk. As I was going down the lift, I found the former registrar of political parties, Lucy Ndumu, and she asked me, where are you going? I told her I'm going to the hospital. To do what? To deliver. What? Okay. So she accompanied me to the Nairobi Hospital, and she helped me check in. My husband was working in Arusha then. And in any event, in pastoral community, children is the mother's business. It's only my driver who is seated there today, who used to help women deliver because he used to be an ambulance driver between Churu and Mararal. The rest don't know what happens. So for the young ones who are planning to get to pastoralists, please wear your shoes and do not take offense when they are not around there. Anyway. So I went to Nairobi Hospital. The next day, Kina Tabitha and my colleagues came and saw the baby. So my then boss, James Oswago, wrote on the form, Dear Mama Ballot. And that is how Ballot came to be. And the father agreed we name him Ballot. And indeed today, it is part of his name in the list. And the father said he couldn't be here today with us because he's learning Pokot. Learning what? He has a tutor to teach him how to speak Pokot, just in case he forget he was Pokot. Anyway, many women have gone through this journey. I see Agnes, is she still here? Yeah, Agnes had her baby and used to drag them along. Many. I remember Jackie Osiemo, last election, had her baby, and I think a week after she delivered, she had to go to the tallying center. Na akakodisha nyumba, karibu na tallying center. Akinyonyesha mtoto anaenda kuhesabu kura, anaenda kusomesha. That's the nature of work in as far as mothers are concerned. But another thing I remember in 2013, 2012 is when now, and I really find my husband is very graceful for that. Imagine I was recalled from maternity. And I remember Tabitha asking me, you're leaving your baby to go to America, seriously? So anyway, that's the nature of sacrifice you have to make as a career woman. So this is mother lactating, baby 3 months with a bottle off to America for 10 days. So what do you do so that the milk doesn't disappear? Women are very creative and make sure you express the milk. So one day you express the milk, went to 5 states with the Hamid and the other commissioners, and then would leave the milk would go to hotels. Excuse me, this is baby's milk, can you keep for us in the refrigerator? And they would keep the fridge. That is the journey from Massachusetts to LA, back to DC, back to Minneapolis. When we reached Harvard, we're in DC, we're in North Carolina. And then me and former chairman, Hamed Isaac, were the two because we had to split. We forgot the milk at the airport. Hey, Hamed never forgot that story. He tells everyone, you know, when we went with her, she forgot the baby's milk in the airport. We had to drive back. to get the milk. Anyway, the long and short of it, the milk landed and Ballot had extra milk despite his mother being away for 5 to 10 days. There has been stories, of course, of experience as a commission, and I remember the issue around the presidential petition. I didn't see anyone from legal today anyway. They might be watching somewhere. Michael. We were forced to go to the Supreme Court to go and defend the matter. And of course, when you take the front line, then you become a target. But the long and short of it, people had told the Supreme Court judges that we as a commission, we sit outside polling station, and that's how we compile the Green Book, or what we call, yes. And people had believed it. So as luck would have it, the Supreme Court judge came. And when they found me there, I explained to them, that is not what happens. This is part of the voter registration process. That was a game changer for that election. Oh, you are there when we are explaining. This is what you do, this is what you do. Eventually, it found its way in the law. You will find it interesting that was one of the things that ICJ had raised. They had no clue that the Green Book is actually law today. But the capacity of staff to pull together. I could give examples of one time we did not have ballot papers in a place called Kacheliba. And for me, I was thinking, oh my God, Kacheliba of all places. The returning officer was panicking. And he said, no, madam, kama hakuna, tugojee tu tutaenda petition. I told him, no, you can't. This is 3 midnight. Election is tomorrow morning. So I called Kanogishui. I told him, do you have a flight to Kacheliba? He said, not a problem. So we looked for a car to go from polling station to polling station, borrowing ballots so that we could actually make sure the election did happen. After that, the returning officer was really bad because I had to look for a support mechanism to make it happen. But when you listen to the stories of every single returning officer, I'm happy, Professor, now it is part of counseling. They are heartbreaking because at times it's true what you said, people don't sleep. But after all elections are done, they now become a punching bag for everyone. So it's important to give them mental support so that they are also able to get over it. There has been difficult moments, but personally, it was very difficult during the sleep that got lost, testifying against your own colleagues, testifying against during some cases in court. But I want to say those are moments I know we have learned lesson in as far as we are concerned. Please remember to always pull together. There is nobody outside this wall that will defend IBC as much as we inside defend IBC. So like I always said, and I'm happy Marijan is here today, he always says, make sure all our systems and processes are actually rectified and bringing about teamwork, Mr. Marijan. Please keep it up. Because outside, nobody will remember us for that. We have to defend ourselves and do whatever it takes to be able to be part of these great teams. I will miss the shows. They were lovely, Tabitha. We had many shows from Mombasa and posing for photos, excuse me, thank you, to Nairobi, to Kisumu, I'll miss Kepsha from voter education. Kepsha, Joyce, you remember in terms of going for those annual meetings with headmasters. That was lovely, having that conversation around them. I will miss annual voter education week. These people will tell you, PS, it is true at times when you're a pusher anyway. When you want results, let me put it that way. Last year, we had no budget for annual voter registration week. And I went and saw Professor, and Professor approved the paper. What Professor, he asked, where are you getting money from? He said, donors. Are you sure? He said, okay. Meanwhile, Uraya had said they'd give us some money. So we believed them. And then they said, we'll only print for you frequently asked questions, and we will do for you one planning meeting. Wow, we are back to the drawing board. So all these people there, I met them in the boardroom, and I told them, you know what? Even if this activity will be done in a garage, it's going to happen. So they thought I was bluffing. They actually thought I was bluffing. I told them, no. So we called the field, and we told them we are having a vote. We had no cent. How much money did we have? Yes, I think 30,000. There was no budget allocation that year. And the field was excited. Of course, they were told there's no money. I remember Kina Ruth were not amused us. Why are we doing an activity without money? We said we'll find money, but let's push it towards the last quarter when nobody's money is getting absorbed. Then you will be able. Then we went to the boardroom. Michael knows that story. So then the priority was Punguza. What was that one for the signature we verified recently, Mr. Marijan? Punguza Mizigo. So there's Punguza Mizigo here, and there is Avio. And everybody is saying, Punguza Mizigo. And there is, Sheila is there, she sits on the budgets committee. So I asked them, so you're now saying we prioritize outsiders because Punguza Mizigo is not a priority. And stakeholders, we do away with them. At the end of that meeting, people had moved from Punguza Mizigo, they had moved to Avio. That is how we got our money. For the first time in 2 years, we were managed to do Avio. So I'll miss those moments. Those moments when you watched IBC staff become very, very creative. Oh, yeah, in the Kengero, yes. So I told my colleagues, even when I worked in IED and there was no money, I remember I used to do voter education in, by the way, PS, I used to do voter education in Wandani, in bus station, educator. And I told them, let's buy a Kengero. That's what it's called in my vernacular. They said, what's that? I said, a Kengero. So, of course, those posh girls there, they said, Director, Kengero? No. I told them, bring it. I'll do the Kengero myself. So, around Nairobi City, it was me making announcements with the Kengero, telling people, kujeni, mpige kura. But you cannot, I will not sit here and pretend that this was possible because of me. We have wonderful commissioners, we have a wonderful CEO. I'm stepping in, and I've always told Marijan, if there's anything I've learned from you is how to work with your boss. Marijan has mastered the art of board politics, and that you have excelled. And you say at top management, that's what you need, is to manage the politics. It's to manage Professor. If you are not managed Professor, you'll not be here. But he came. That I'll take away. And the fact that you spend time teaching us. By the way, he's an audit, your systems audit. And Professor defended me. At the height of elections, he stood up and said, no, you cannot touch Kassait. I will never forget that, Professor. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I take it for granted. So there are many examples of Akina Alice there, and I could go on and on. Kwanusu, by the way, Kwanusu, Salat. Kwanusu is the best in doing makofi ya Nyayo in the commission. He is. Mele, I mean, I could go on every single table in terms of the kind of support. Elizabeth there, despite being in the office of the CEO, she's always given us tips on how to make sure our papers pass through, you know. Saumu there, I mean, Sheila, I could go on and on and on. And of course, yes, Yasmin, Ruth there. We've come with Ruth from far since then when she was in Nairobi. I don't know what to say. And those creative souls there, they've made me feel at home for the last 2 years. They are very good in PR, by the way. It's like I was taken, thank you very much, Professor, for transferring me to voter education. I appreciate it. Prepared me for greater things. Thank you. And it's not a lie. Everyone who comes to voter education leaves the commission for better things. Yes. Whether it was Joel, whether it was Nixon, whether Anne Derito, they all passed through voter education. So the door is going to open. Have hope. Okay, sisemi nichukue staff wako. So I could go on and on. Yes, I was saying, yeah, you know, because that's what I need really, those skills right now in terms of getting stakeholders buying. So I'm very grateful to our field staff who are watching today. I would have loved to have more of them here. I know it is not practically possible. They have been my greatest support. I say this without fear of contradiction, that anywhere I went, they did not only receive me, they were willing to learn. Because if they are not willing to learn, you cannot lead a team of people who do not give you feedback. They told me, they spoke power to the truth. And two people in particular, I want to mention, Dr. Namulungu and Nancy Kariuki. Nancy Kariuki and Dr. Namulungu, I was very new in public service. They worked with me. And I remember one time when there was an issue around specification of a certain item, Nancy walking to my office told me, Director, you want to go to jail. That Kasmari boy has ballot tutakuletea uji huko. Yes. You know, when somebody talks talks truth to power, you look back and you're like, what did she say? And she's actually right. You can't change midstream. Even if you want how to make sure that the process is running. Those are the lessons I take. The fact that they told me the truth without sugarcoating. I will forever be grateful to them. The team I worked with in 2017, that is there, he's very quiet, by the way. You saw him here talking very diplomatically. But he's a proper administrator, that one, Mr. Kamwati. He made things happen in the warehouse. And Rito, who was then training, and Mr. Udami. They are a wonderful team. In the height, because you need a support system, in the height of irreducible minimum. After that whole episode, one day I walked in and I told them, you know what, the way things are going, I may not be here to actually help you conduct this election. However, let's continue planning as if nothing will stop. And they stepped in and continued planning and made sure that the election. So, Mr. Kamwati, on behalf of your team, and I saw Benjamin there, he spoke today, thank you very much for stepping in that most critical time to make sure that things happen. And for risk, you always gave us feedback. At times we were never good of friends, but we have come to embrace risk as an important aspect of the commission's work. We really, really, really take it seriously. And security naona hapo, asante sana. I'll miss my driver. I know, sincerely, I mean it. And my husband said, yeah, his family, it's true. He has energy like me. You know when we say these two clicked, that's Koech. He never complained. He was always at our door at 6:30. And if today I told Koech, can we go to Lamu? And then we arrive in Lamu, and I tell him, can we go to Nakuru? He will never say, I'll not do that, madam. That level of dedication and knowing he's there and you can count on him is something I will miss. Graphic memory. If he goes to a place when he remembers, he speaks, he may not tell you this, he's multilingual. In fact, in another life, I think he would have made a very good person in the hospitality industry. He speaks, just sits with you, he will speak Somali, he will speak Kipsigis, he will speak Tugen, he will speak Pokot, he'll speak Turkana, and you're like, what? I'll miss him. Koech, I thank you so much. I really don't take it for granted. Yeah. All right, I know we are running short of time. I could talk and talk and talk. Thank you, DVMC, for pulling this together in the team, the field staff for your contribution and your great testimonies here today. I will miss you all. I thank you for the opportunity to be a leader. When I listen to all of you, I wonder which immaculate you're talking about, because it can't be. Thank you. Merry Christmas, and for sure we'll be meeting in the industry. See, now I'm the data controller, data protector. Hiya, Bas. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Commissioner Madam Immaculate Kassait, the new Data Protection Commissioner. Now, time is not on our side. It's now 10 minutes to 9. We have 10 minutes to do everything that is pending. We have 2 activities that are pending, and they should happen very fast. We have the presentation of gifts, and then we will cut the cake, and Joyce will take us through that. Very quickly, DJ, weka wimbo kidogo as Joyce Joyce Ekwam. She's Ekwam.
Before we do the cake,
Yeah.
Sabah, bring me that.
Thank you. I'll not take a lot of time. I just want to say that everything that is here was a small contribution from the staff of IBC. We have very tough times now, but colleagues contributed something. We thought of one, you talked about Minneapolis, some of those places you were, so we have an album there. Could someone just bring the album? Yeah. We have put for you all those photos. All those photos. And we'll also pick it and include the photos of today. It's a very special album. Yeah, please present. Beautiful album. Yeah, just appreciate that. Photos. Let us see. Yeah, when you went and left ballot, all those photos during the show. Yeah. So that is great collection from the communications team, and I want to really appreciate that. So we will have it back and add for you the photos of today. It's a very special album. Anytime you want to remember IBC, look at those photos. We also have a cake there, which we will cut later. We'll ask Madam Sheila, Madam Kulundu, scholar led by Joyce Ekwam, to quickly officiate that session of cutting the cake. And the LG person, where is the LG gentleman? Please come and unveil something that as communications team, we thought that we want something that you can enjoy with your family, because the family has been with you and standing with you. Please, can the family just come and stand before with Commissioner? We'd like we want to give the LG gentleman a few minutes to just talk about it. Yeah. A special gift that anytime you look at it, you remember IBC. You are an informer, educator, and we love you, we love your family. They should always remember that you are part of us. You are our lifeline. Say something, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And like I always say, when we say LG, good evening, we always mean good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'd like to say is when the commissioner contacted our online branch shop team, and they suggested and they inquired that they want to gift one of their best booths like we saw here, and we decided that it can only go with the best TV that we have in the market. And if I feel to introduce myself, I'm William Kamore. I'm in charge of training and content in Eastern Africa. And I decided to grace this occasion so that I can talk about much more on what the present that the commissioner was able to give. And the TV that we have here is known as the LG OLED TV, which is an award-winning TV. And it's a few people in this country that have this TV that I can say, Madam Commissioner. And if I can just read here something, I've been here since we began, and all the adjectives I have written here. I started with best. They were describing Madam Commissioner. Best, brilliant, visionary, stellar performance, spectacular, wonderful, immaculate, shupavu, hodari, mjuzi, distinguished, a class of her own, awesome, alpha, phenomenal, remarkable, A+ material. all those adjectives are used also to recommend the TV and to describe this TV that we have here. That's why I can say this is a perfect match and a perfect gift. We want to thank and congratulate all the teams that are responsible for this. And LG products ni mingi sana, so please make a point of visiting the LG online branch shop team and they will be able to give you and recommend something for you. So I think now it's the high time that we can unveil the TV so that you can see all those adjectives that we are describing to you here. So in oh, you switched off. Okay, so they are switching on the TV. So what I can say is this gift that we have here is very remarkable, and also the design. Like I said, it is an award-winning TV, recognized globally and also here. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's unveil the TV. Yes, so this is one of the best. It is actually AI powered, so it's not only smart, so you can also even speak to the TV whenever you have time. So please check out our online site and you'll get to know much more information about this wonderful TV and wonderful gesture from the IT team. So thank you very much.
I'm a superwoman. I'm a superwoman. Yes, superwoman. I'm a superwoman. I'm a superwoman. Yes, superwoman. Thank you so much. It will help you, Mom. Your papa got to make a living. I mean, this week, I think it's tumeketi sana tafadhalini tusimalize. Our cake today has writings on it. It's written, "Congratulations, Commissioner Immaculate," and it is yeah, and it's a cake made of blueberries, and we chose blueberries for a reason. That blue, the color blue represents something. One is serenity. She's very serene. Two is stability. Color blue stands for stability. Inspirational, wisdom, reliability, royalty, creativity. Magical. When you watch the sea and the waves are very magical. Strength, mental health, youthfulness of body and mind. And all that is equal to immaculate. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have this cake. There's something? Confetti? Yeah. So, yes, this side. So, Commissioner Immaculate, with the help of William Kamket, please take the knife together. Yeah, place it on the cake. There is a song that was supposed to be playing, the ones Kwanusu sang. Yeah? She's good. God knows she's good. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap. And asante sana. Kata keki. She's a woman. Congratulations. She knows how to dish it out. Asante sana. Kata tena. Some pieces. As soft as feathers, still she wears the storm's skies. And she's a sparrow wind. She's blowing, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hit. But she's a little wind. CEO, she flies. Thank you. Of colors, you can toss around. You can keep in your vision, but you never keep her down. She's a lover, she's a mother, she's a support system, and she's a sponsor, and she's a she's but she's an eagle. Thank you so much. When she's gentle as the sweet magnolia, strong as steel, her nectar, she's an everlasting. She's so yes, she's believing so high. She hurts me, and when she weeps, she's just a stranger as a child, and she's a then she's brown. Yeah, but she's a yes, girl. She flies. But ile kubwa. Asante. Thank you so much, another for ndani. Thank you. Asante sana. Okay. Pop the champagne. She the children. Shelima Malot. The children, CEO. And for that good timely leakage. Tunajua ni wapi tutakuwa tukienda. Ilikuwa mentorship. Thank you so much. Asante CEO. Thank you children. For support, for taking cue from her. You're going to be strong women for this country. Thank you so much. Yes, boys and their mothers. Thank you so much. The sister, wow, strong support system. Psychosocial support. Sister, thank you so much. Sisters are golden, very golden. Asante. The champagne, then we wind up. The rest of us will get their pieces. The champagne. Yeah. To shake. That direction. Karibia. Shake kabisa. Shake it. This direction. Shake. Okay. So the champagne, Naito Chamdo, is a non-alcoholic celebratory drink. Yes. So kila mtu shake kabisa itoe pofu. Very good. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is a blessing. Ninate ya wazee. Thank you so much. Asante. No, it's non-alcoholic drink. It's a non-alcoholic drink. Non-alcoholic celebratory drink. Free for all religions. Yes. Thank you so much. Magic. Yeah. Thank you. Some water. Do you have? Yes. Some more photos? Thank you. Asanteni sana. Edgar, vote of thanks. Karibu sana. Edgar is moving a vote of thanks.
As we wind up, kindly, ladies and gentlemen, as we wind up this ceremony, at the back, can you have one meeting? Thank you. As we wind up. I've been honored to give a vote of thanks. So kindly, I'll be very fast because of time. I'm privileged to give this vote of thanks. Madam Immaculate, I'll say no more. They have said enough. You've held us like the buttons of my shirt today. Together. And we don't take it for granted. So we'd like to thank God, the Almighty, for good health, for giving us this day to be able to be here, to be able to celebrate this very great occasion. We thank the hotel for hosting us here and giving us the good service that we received. We thank our commission, Professor Abdi Gulier, Acting CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan, for gracing this occasion and also for allowing the activity to go on. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate you. We thank the planners of this great event, Madam Tabitha. Madam Tabitha, we thank you very much. Even despite the condition, you still made it time, and you've been planning throughout this thing. You've been calling everyone and trying to follow up. We just admire your, you're just very great in these things. We thank you and don't take it for granted. And pass our regards to the entire team that was planning this. Madam Jesse Kwame here, Bwana Nyonje, and everyone from the field, from the headquarters, who contributed their time, resources towards this. For those who have been watching us from home on YouTube, we thank you for your patience and following the event to the end. We thank everyone who has attended, the DJ, the MC, the team from the YouTube team, everyone who has made this event successful. Thank you and have a very great evening.
Please tell us who to hand over the gifts, Madam Commissioner, the TV. They want to hand it over. Yeah. And as they do that, as we go, allow me to read this, the best